Kengan Ashura will cure your erectile dysfunction, and I guarantee it will make your testosterone levels spike, like the time you watched a bunch of chiseled Spartans killing some Persians, or the time Torkal yeeted his spear so hard that it became a Danish kebab. Whether your rock-hard erection will be due to the brutally choreographed combat or half-naked sweaty men is for you to sort out later, but just know, I am an ally, and support any reason to watch this adrenaline-inducing anime about martial arts. So, with that being said, let's see why Kengan Ashura is the only protein intake you'll need this week, as you feel like the opposite of a vegan inside the insane corporate world of martial arts. Kengan Ashura takes place in modern-day Japan, where business arbitrations and disputes are settled in the fighting arena, rather than conference rooms or bribes in Congress. If two corporations have a dispute about, say, construction rights over a new skyscraper, they'll send their affiliate fighters to engage in a martial arts duel, known as a Kengan match, with the winning fighter earning construction rights for their affiliate corporation. Companies with the strongest fighter naturally gain more influence and revenue in the corporate world of the Kengan Association, which leads to ambitious men pitting the strongest fighters against each other. Of these ambitious men is Hideki Nogi, who is the president of the Nogi Group and aspires great heights for his company as he challenges the chairman of the Kengan Association for his seat of power. This challenge kicks off the Kengan Life or Death tournament, as the world's finest fighters square off in a 32-man tournament for corporate superiority. As one would expect, the action sequences of Kengan Ashura is the main selling point of the show. Despite the CGI being a bit choppy at times, the fighter choreography is actually very deliberate and well animated, as you can visually register impact with each punch and kick, while still being able to distinguish fighting styles and techniques that you might be familiar with. Overall, the CGI of Kengan Ashura manages to be simultaneously bad and good, but the action choreography and flow to fights feels top-notch, which should be more than enough to appeal to those who enjoy high-octane action in their anime. Of course, Kengan Ashura offers more than chiseled men and bloody fists, as the backstory of the different fighters manages to be somewhat memorable, despite not being featured as a main character. This adds a level of unpredictability to the outcome of fights when both characters have a backstory you're invested in, and makes the show more enjoyable and less repetitive, despite being in a tournament format. Also, the presentation of backstory and fights has a campy feel to it, as stylized exposition via announcers and narrators never takes itself too seriously, while providing insight into different fighting styles and strategies. On top of the campy delivery are some running gags that might have you unexpectedly laughing as you witness a grown man hit on another grown man, a high school girl hit on a grown man, or a clueless man fail his way to the top. Those that appreciate well choreographed fights and intense action sequences will be pleasantly surprised with interesting backstories and campy humor that nicely complements an insane world of Kengan Ashura. Speaking of insane, let's talk about the characters of the show. First, we have Yamashita, who is a pushover office worker at the start of the show. Due to interesting circumstances, Yamashita manages to get dragged in the world of Kengan fights, as his big boss Nogi forces him to take the helm of a corporation in order to enter the Kengan Life or Death tournament as a puppet of the Nogi Group. Yamashita being a nobody in the corporate world leads to a lot of humorous interactions, as his obliviousness gets misinterpreted as class and killer intuition. Next, we have Oma, who's Yamashita's affiliate fighter in the Kengan Life or Death tournament. Like most of the fighters in the show, Oma is a bit intense, as he loves the thrill of a good fight. However, he takes a bit too much stock in his own fighting capabilities at the start of the show, which adds to some interesting character development that humbles him in the process. In Oma's determination to be the strongest fighter lies a backstory filled with vengeance, and adds some interesting depth that is not initially expected of his one-track mind. However, it's the side characters that really brings the best out of the show. Like a lot of fighting anime, Kengan Ashura features a large and diverse cast of supporting characters that take up almost as much screen time as the main characters. Even when fighters are knocked out of the tournament, their insight during matches and interactions with other characters always provides relevance to the story, whether it be playful or informative. All in all, you'll be hard-pressed to find such a large cast of characters with distinguishable quirks in an anime, and this aspect of Kengan Ashura really lends to the overall characterization of the show. The music of Kengan Ashura definitely deserves a mention here, as most people will probably be hyped as soon as they hear the opening song. Throughout the soundtrack, there's no shortage of heavy rock and hip-hop inspired themes, as they pump you up before and during every match. If you're someone looking for music to listen to while training or lifting weights in the gym, then the soundtrack of Kengan Ashura is as perfect a fit to pumping iron as it is to bashing faces in. Also, I never expected I would enjoy trap music, let alone Japanese trap, but the ending song manages to give me new appreciation on the genre, as it masterfully transitions a scene to the ending credits. Kengan Ashura is an adrenaline-fueled action anime that equally appeals to those versed in combat sports and those completely new to the genre. Admittedly, the stigma of CGI might be the main factor holding back Kengan Ashura's popularity, but I can assure you that the choreography in combat never feels cheap, as every motion and attack feels deliberate, while being distinguishable from the different fighters of the show. If you're looking for meaningful choreography and fluid combat, then Kengan Ashura is a show that absolutely delivers, while providing a great cast of characters and an impressive soundtrack on the side. My recommendation is to not let preconceived notions of CGI deny your body of this testosterone-fueled foray into the insane martial arts world of Kengan Ashura.